Hey Emily. So glad I'm not the only one here yet. Would have been really awkward until I waited for everyone else. Oh, hi. Hello, hi. Okay, I think I need to pull up the video in a separate. Oh God, Amanda, I wish I could send cat pics over here. What's upset you? What happened? Is it what happened in the US with the death of that judge person? Or is it something else? Tell me all about it. I'm here to play therapist if you need me. I think I'm gonna pull up the video in another window just so I can follow the chat easier because StreamYard has just been fucking around and it's super delayed and it's super annoying. Yes, her, RBG. Also, hi. Hi, everyone. Hi, Fefi, Vision, Sarah, Elsie, Emily, of course, Tarima. Hi, Ruthie. Hi, Cupcake. God, yeah, it's just it's a whole damn mess. Like 2020 just cannot get any worse. I'm going to be super honest with you guys. I did not know who she was until I found out about her death in on Twitter and Instagram because everyone was going nuts so about it. She really sounds like an icon of a woman, like a true defender wall. She sounded amazing and no, may her memory be a blessing or a revolution. I heard that's the proper way to say it in the Jewish faith. She was Jewish, apparently. I'll say if it makes you feel any better, I hate it in Romania as well. Apparently, some idiots started a protest in the biggest square in Bucharest saying that they don't want to wear masks. And there's a whole Facebook group, thousand strong, called how do you call? Give me a second. Let me find the translation. Potniță English. It's called without a muzzle because they think that wearing a mask is wearing a muzzle. It's just full of idiots. So I think both of our countries are super fucking doomed. What have you guys been up to otherwise this week? Oh, the beauty so Fefi mentioned the beauty crawl. Let me just pin that. So, in case you guys didn't know, Fefi, Yoga with Mo, and a bunch of other smaller creators, I feel everyone is like under 500 or 1,000. They're having beauty crawls, so basically consecutive videos done on their respective platforms. So, Fefi, I saw she has them on YouTube. There's other girls still on YouTube. Alex the Alchemist is also part of the beauty crawl, so I think it's under 1K. So if you guys are interested in, a full day of chatting about makeup and beauty, go check them out. Oh, I'm so glad that you were able to meet up with friends. I think everyone was friend starved, touch starved after this whole quarantine. I'm happy you had fun. I can imagine it was draining. Like you guys had to catch up on 7 months of stuff. Yes, I would say that. Yeah, I'd say that's where the concept borrows from, like a bar crawl. It was really fun. Like Fefi created a tag. It's called the Makeup Telenovela tag, and it's you basically talk about your makeup as it relates to certain telenovela characters. In case you guys didn't know, telenovelas are like Spanish, Latino, Mexican, that whole area soap operas, and they are the most. They do the most, and most of us grew up with it in Romania. Like our mothers, our grandmothers would tune in to a lot of these telenovelas and exactly laughs in Spanish. And most houses only had one TV, right? And no computer. So you would have to sit through hours upon hours of these people just going through the drama of their lives. And I'm not sure if that didn't leave me just with some scars in adulthood. Oh, I heard Maine is beautiful. Well, if you sneak into Canada, just share with the class because I think a lot of people kind of want to escape up north. And up north, again, not Alaska, not anywhere near the US, the other part of the north. Oh my God, yeah, they're super popular. When I was a kid and a teenager, I'm not sure if Spanish, but they were like Latin, Spanish speaking ones were the most famous. And then now that I'm older, the Turkish ones and the Indian South Asian, so Indian style of telenovelas are really, really popular. And among the younger generation, so teens and up, Korean dramas, K dramas started really picking up traction. Personally, I've been really liking the Turkish ones. There's some really good ones when they're not sexist. Keyword, when they're not sexist. Oh, I love puffins. If you guys don't know what a puffin is, just Google it. They're the most precious little colorful creatures. And they're like the little beaks, and they're just intensely huggable. Oh God, no, Maria del Barrio. I have so many memories with Maria del Barrio and Gata Salvaje. And then there's one, something bad dog. I don't remember that one very well, but Maria del Barrio and Gata Salvaje, they live in my dreams. Like I rewatched some commentaries on Maria del Barrio afterwards, and I did not remember it to be so crazy. And it's so wild to me that 10, 11, 12-year old me was watching it, and I'm like, okay, I am happy that I did not get my relationship advice from those, because my love life would have been fucked. But it explains why most of the women my age have super toxic, super dramatic relationships. If that was our example. The Turkish ones are really good, Gabby. So there is one that I really liked. It's called Iserde. But one of my best friends made me watch it, and there is this main actor. Let me see. Yeah, he's I'll mangle his name. Chagatai Ulusoy. He is such a hunk, such has been material. She lured me in with the plot and these two hot brothers just battling it out, and it was amazing, amazing. Oh God, yeah. I mean, that's at least a good thing. Like young and restless is still going on, I think, and it's been what, years, like literal decades. It's ridiculous. Oh my God, Audra, don't make me reveal myself as a weebo, because I'm about to unironically be like, "What are we gonna do on the bed on each other?" And I'm gonna get cancelled. Pura sangre. I don't know. Let me Google that. Oh, I don't think I watched it, but what was it with these people comparing women to animals that could not be tamed? Jesus Christ. But no, they were crazy. They were crazy. And speaking of TV, most Romanian kids learned English And then we had, really good English growing up because they didn't dub the cartoons for a very long time, and we kind of had to do with the subs, or there were no subs. It was just pure cartoon as it was in, wherever we imported it from, and we kind of had to deal with that. So you Oh, hi. My 13-year-old sister is here, so we're gonna need to keep it PG-13. Hi, Simona. Which cartoons? Um, the classic ones. So you had Dexter's Lab, you had oh God, I don't even remember the name. Cow and Chicken. A lot of these classic USA ones. And then later, when I was like 10, 11, 12 or so, they started putting on anime as well, so subbed anime, because we all know that dubbed anime is a sin. Yes, the Powerpuff Girls too. Yeah, exactly. Cartoon Network shows. Courage. Oh God, Courage is another one that haunts my dreams, and I rewatched it recently, and I cannot believe how effed up some of these episodes are. Like the one with Return the Slab gave me nightmares as a child. Yeah, exactly. And I feel it promotes a certain level of toxicity because you've got both adults and kids watching these, and the adults know better, but the children don't know that it's not normal to break up 100 times. Ah, see, even the newer generation loves Powerpuff. Yay! Grim Adventures of Bill and Mandy. Oh yeah, yeah. Also, I said my sister is 13. She's not. She's 11. So we have to we have to be mindful of that. But the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, like so many jokes in that TV show, just went over my head. And then you rewatch it later with a lot of the other ones, and you're like, oh, the writers be thinking dirty, and they put in some adult stuff just for the giggles. 100%, 100%. I feel the newer ones are not as good, aside from like the newer ones that are properly for little kids. So I'm not sure if my sister remembers, but I used to babysit her a lot when she was like 3 and 2, and we would watch these Disney Channel shows that she loved, but for me they were absolutely horrible, brain melting, horrendously bad, and just dumbed down, and I just could not. The only one that I liked was Princess Sophia, that she liked as well. Steven Universe is a new one that I really think is good. I think my sister is into it. She's got a drawing of the yellow diamond, and the blue one. I don't know. Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. They really balanced it out between making stuff that is appropriate for children and then slipping in one or two jokes for the older crowd, like Animaniacs. There's a really popular YouTube video of a clip from Animaniacs that's a whole pun on the word fingerprints, and it gets interesting really quick. I've not watched Hey Arnold. I don't think they aired it here. Like, I'm familiar with the characters because you know how it is. USA nostalgia kind of tends to go across all social media, and you end up knowing about it and like creating false memories. You're like, did I actually watch this cartoon, or do I know about it because everyone else knows about it and I acquired knowledge about it through osmosis? Oh, that you're almost a couple of years older than me. I love it. Actually, no, not a couple, like almost 20. I thought you were my age. I don't know why. I tend to think that everyone here is my age, and I think that's just proof that y'all are like, young at spirit, forever young at spirit. Not that you're old or anything. You're fine. I'm just gonna shut up before I put my foot more in my mouth, because I'm really going on a tangent here and like just chucking it in my mouth and chewing at it. Look, 40 is an amazing age, an amazing number. You are doing amazing. Honestly, it's a great age. And you're aging like wine. Don't let anyone else tell you anything else. I'm 26. I feel like I'm still 20, 19. Like I feel perpetually stuck there in how I see myself with my mind's eye. And then it hits me that I'm almost 30 and I'm a whole grown ass woman. And my sister is 11. Yeah, I did mention. You're the age of one of my best friends. The friend that introduced me to Iserda. I think she's like 33, so you're not that far off. Aw. Oh, thank you, thank you. What do I call you? ATB princess? What name do I call you? Thank you so much. Also, I love your profile picture. You're so pretty. Yay for big age differences in siblings. Our parents got busy. I loved Teen Titans. I loved Beast Boy. I loved Raven a lot. Not so much Starfire and Robin. I always thought he was a bit of a jerk. Yeah, yeah, I've been told that repeatedly. I always say that I have a harder time relating to younger children because I didn't relate to them even when I was their age. I was always like a little old woman. 100%, and some of their cartoon movies are really good as well. Like the Justice League movies, they're nothing too brain taxing or too deep, but they're really good. Oh my god, happy birthday in advance. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. I have not seen Mulan. I'm not paying for it. It was my favorite um Disney movie. That and my other favorite, which was not Disney, was Anastasia. My mother, when I was a toddler or something, and she wanted a couple of hours to herself or a couple of hours to clean the house without me getting in her legs, like in her feet, she would just put an Anastasia tape and let me watch it, and she knew that I would stay glued there and she could do her business in peace. But yeah, no, I heard um not the cartoon one, Simona. They're speaking about a new Mulan, a Disney Mulan. It's with real people, and I don't think you've watched it yet because it's not on the TV yet. It's in a separate Disney thing. But yeah, no, I heard it was really, really bad and kind of made Mulan this sort of superwoman, which takes away all of the lessons that movie was supposed to give out to young women. Let's get down to business to defeat the Huns. Okay, that's as much singing as you guys will get from me. I just caught with hearing that song without just springing into singing as well. I'm so sorry you had a bad day. I hope that after this live and during this live you will feel much much better and that you will have a quieter day. I feel it's like it's still noon in the USA. I'm not entirely sure, but I really do hope you have a much much better day. Yeah, we got it. We got it. You're good. You're good. 100%, and it was a movie that got me interested in martial arts in the beginning, and then I watched Naruto, and I was like, okay, you know what, I gotta learn. Like, I feel that Mulan, Naruto, and Yu Yu Hakusho were seminal cartoons to how I grew up to be and what my values are as a person. Yeah, apparently they changed a lot of the plot. They really changed a lot of the plot. They made Mulan have these spoilers for everyone. That's spoilers. Just pause it and skip like 1 minute ahead. They made her have these superpowers that she obviously did not have in the first movie. They removed the love interest of Shang, and then they also added this bird woman witch, which was apparently an interesting character, but didn't do much for it. So it's just, I heard it was really bad. Like the nostalgia critic pretty much made a review about it that was super interesting. And if you guys want to see that without seeing the movie, I do recommend it. I love you right back. I love you right back, Simona. Thank you. I love you. 100%, and I feel that the so Gabby says it's made for everyone, it's just made for no one. 100%, because they're trying to not take any risks. They're trying to do a lot of stuff that would appeal, but then it ends up this bland white rice no salt type of movie that nobody likes because it's too bland. Listen, Elsie, the moment that the first Wonder Woman movie, when she's in armor, she runs over or jumps over the trenches and she's facing that whole army, I had legitimate tears in my eyes. Legitimate tears in my eyes. It was the first time that I saw a female superhero that way, not sexualized, the bastion of protection. She was her against the world. Literal tears. Yeah, that was. Look, I believe in all of this stuff, right? So, vital energy, chakras, chi, make that of what you will. You can treat it respectfully, but I don't think they're just throwing it around like some random, oh, this is why she has superpowers. It's chi. Is very respectful of all of the cultures in that part of Asia and other cultures that treat vital energy as something that is true, that is in all of us, and that affects things. I think it just promotes more mumbo jumbo than the actual concepts and truths behind that spiritual endeavor, so to say. I know, right? Apparently the Chinese didn't think it was disrespectful. Apparently they liked that area of it. But to me, it's very sus that you want to create a Chinese focused movie, but you don't bring any Chinese people into it. You just shoot it in a very problematic Chinese province. I mean, I don't think there's anything. Maybe I'm interpreting this wrong, but I don't think there is anything inherently bad with polyamory in general, as long as all of the parties are consenting to it and 100% aware of the dynamic in the relationship. So I do feel that he can be polyamorous while also writing women in a respectful way. I've got a good friend that is polyamorous. And I've never felt that she has a certain view on other people because of it. It's just another way of doing relationships. I could never. I'm a monogamist at heart, but I don't think that says anything about the person. that's that's so savage. Yeah, that's a very good point. Oh, I think it was in English because they didn't want. Um, I don't think. Sorry, give me a second, just a second to collect my thoughts. I think it's in English because it's easier to distribute in English in multiple countries than it is to have those countries dub. I think that would be the only reason. And because I feel that it's easier to translate from English to Chinese, but I may be wrong. If you don't uninstall that game, dacă nu dezinstalezi jocul ăla, data viitoare când ne vedem, ți-o iei pe coajă. Yes, it's really annoying because Shang was a bi icon. He was a bi icon. He really was. He was amazing, amazing. Yeah, sorry, I think I maybe misinterpreted the comment wrong, but I just wanted to clear the air. Da, nu, da, te rog frumos, dezinstalează ăla. Nu-ți fac nimic, dar dezinstalează-l că nu-i de tine. Înțeleg că e amuzant, dar nu e cazul. Nu la vârsta ta, te joci când ai 13 sau 14 ani, ok? Mersi. Try to convince my sister to uninstall this stupid game. Children and the internet. I'm not ready for this. uh, I'll get you some video games when we come over next. Just uninstall that one, please. And I'll bring you some games on a flash drive, okay? Pinky promise. Listen, I liked the other ones. I didn't watch Lion King, but I liked Cinderella and I liked Beauty and the Beast because I don't go into it with the mindset that they have to be good. I go into it with the mindset that they have to be flashy and they deliver. They're eye candy and they're very of by the fact that they're not very, mentally taxing and not very deep, they're really good comfort watches. I had no idea, but they probably did. I mean, Disney is the Lex Luthor of corporations. I honestly would not be surprised if they collaborated more with China. With China. Yes, yes, I loved it. I loved it. I loved the songs. I loved the whole be kind message. Like I didn't like that people said that they made her a like a doormat because it's there are several ways to be strong while also being feminine. Persevering against that version, even though you're not loud or you don't outwardly fight or you're not, you don't have like super in you. That's also a valid type of strength. The quiet type of strength that a lot of women have to, display to endure their condition. That's also type of strength. So I really did not like that they said, oh, this new Okay, I think I'm back. I think I'm back. I think I'm back. Oh God, yes, like I loved that movie. It was so progressive for its time. Like you had an Asian prince, a black Cinderella, that I don't know the prince's parents. I think they were like Whoopi Goldberg and some other guys, and nobody said anything about it. It was just the norm. Like they didn't make it about a race thing. They were just seen as people doing people things, and I really loved that. I really loved that because that is, I think, a good way to normalize it. When you write stories with diverse characters and you don't bring attention to the fact that, oh, our cast is so diverse, because then it just got a taste of tokenism to it. But I may be wrong. Oh yeah, no, I read about it. I read about it. It's just yeah, no, I don't. I am very uncomfortable with how comfortable the world is getting to with open genocide across all continents. I am very uncomfortable with it. It's okay. It's important that we know about these things. You're not being a killjoy. You are helping us know about these things and be aware of it. The older Cinderella tales, oh, wow, yeah, Brothers Grimm is just fucked up. And I also liked there's a writer called Andrew Lang, and he has a series of like 10 or 12 books. They're called the colored fairy books. You've got the red fairy book, the pink fairy book, the green fairy book. I've got like four of them. And they basically are collections of stories all across the world as they should be told, as they were told originally. So, not the Disney watered down version of it. And some of them are just yikes. So, if for people that don't know, in the original Cinderella, because the sisters do not fit into her shoes, one of them cuts her toes and the other one cuts her, like, the backside of the foot, the heel. And of course they still don't fit, and the prince notices the blood and he sends them back home. And eventually, when Cinderella is found to be, the real Cinderella, and the shoe fits pretty good, and she gets married, the doves that are released during the marriage ceremony, they pluck their eyes out. So yeah, it's just it's fucked up. Let's not even start with Cinderella, because that one made me bawl my eyes out. It just makes me bawl my eyes out. Yes, exactly. There's so many variations of it. There is actually a system of categorizing common tropes in stories. I don't know what it's called. Oh, I need to Google it. But basically, there's very common motifs across all stories across the world, because they speak of the human condition, and of course the aspects of the human condition will start repeating itself. Oh god, let me just Google it. Story Folk story categorization system. Yeah, it's the Arn Thompson Uther Index. Let me just. It's late for you because you're younger, but I am an adult, so it's not late for me. If mom tells you to go to sleep, because you can rewatch the live after it's done. And when I come visit, we can talk about it, okay? Deci dacă mami îți spune să te duci să te culci, du-te și culcă-te, că după aia poți să vezi videoul live pe YouTube după aia și vorbim noi după aia, ok? I don't think it's misogyny. I think it's just elitism. They're in academic circles and nerd circles and all those specialized knowledge type of circles. There is a lot of classism and a lot of elitism. And I feel it reeks of elitism more than it does of misogyny, because in those original tales, most of the girls did not have that much agency either. I love that headcanon. I love that headcanon. Cinderella deserves the best. Just put another drink in. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, I heard about that as well. Like, oh, Man, it's just I feel that we're getting closer and closer to a whole cyberpunk Blade Runner type of thing with all of these corporations doing the most and getting away with it scot free. I mean, to me, it's very ironic that the USA says that it's a bastion of freedom, but lets its companies get away with this bullshit. As far as I know, Disney is a USA based company, right? Because it's kind of sus, man. It's kind of sus. Dute și culcă-te. Go to sleep so I can swear. Yeah, and I don't get it. Like you can find pretty forests and pretty locations everywhere. You really did not have to do that near the concentration camps. I feel that they're doing it to kiss ass to Disney. Okay, that's good to know. Gabby says international people can donate to ACLU and other voting Black Lives Matters orgs. Clown University is the best university to graduate from. I actually had some makeup on earlier today because I went on a date with my boyfriend. We went to a new pizzeria opened here, so an air type pizzeria. Was really good. We ate like pigs. Then went and got macarons from Paul's. We and my he calls them sugar burgers because a macaron does look like a tiny colored burger, doesn't it? And then we went home and took a nap. And it was really good. It was a really nice, lazy Saturday. The um the funniest thing is that I got used to calling them as well. So at a certain point, I forgot that I was supposed to call them by their proper name, and I went to the store and actually asked for sugar burgers, and the lady looked at me like I was crazy. Here they reopened restaurants that had an outdoors seating area. You still can't go to closed restaurants except for if there are some exceptions. So if they're literally small and they've got doors on the sides that they can use to air out the space, so keeping the doors open while people eat, then yeah. But otherwise, if it's just completely closed, you're not allowed to go there yet. I did bring you guys the Sunt, sunt prăjiturile alea roz, verzi. Le-am adus, știi care sunt? My mom has Hashimoto's. It's an autoimmune thyroid disorder, and it can trigger a bunch of other related stuff. I'm actually at risk for it because it's genetic, and I've been saying for like a year or two that I'll go to an endocrinologist and that I'll get some tests done, but I always forget to. I think I don't want to face the music. But yeah, and Hashimoto's triggered in her a mild form of celiac disease. So should those the sugar burgers, the macarons, and a couple of other things that she makes at home with special flour, those are one of the few things that she can eat sweet wise without getting and like rashes breaking out in hives, because the macarons are made with almond flour. But I joke about small world, but I really wouldn't want anyone to have it. Like I don't want to get it. I don't want my mom to have it. I don't want you to have it. I don't want anyone to have it alongside other diseases. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I feel like a little bit of a dictatorship regarding these types of things is welcome. A lot of people here are just protesting because, oh, you're trying to muzzle our children, it's child abuse, whatever. And it's just God, it sounds like eugenics when I say it, but why did you guys have kids when you guys are so dumb? It's just we're in the middle of a pandemic and people are whining about masks. I'm tired of it. Oh my Hi Abby. I was speaking about masks and I summoned you. Check out Abby's Instagram if you don't already. She has the awesomest like custom masks like from Etsy and other places. Just mask fashion on point. And I'm so happy you're here. Hi. My favorite dessert is tiramisu. I'm a basic Italian bitch, I know, but it's tiramisu. That's my favorite. And macarons. Yeah, I don't get the curfew thing at a certain point because it's like there are already people mingling and just spreading their germs all over. A curfew really isn't going to do much better. Yeah, no, it's just they have this whole Facebook group that is just full of dumb ass people praising each other for going outside without masks. They're like taking selfies in public transports without masks, and most of them are 40, 50-year old people, so they're not, you can't say, oh, they're old and senile. Like, these are grown ass adults that are closer to my age, to your age, than they are my grandmas. Oh yeah, I saw it out on Twitter. I'm so happy you can finally breathe fresh air again. It's just been terrible what's been happening on your side of the coast. Christ. I hope you have a great time at your baby shower. Yeah, man, I don't get it. And you know what's the saddest thing? They are the most at risk for catching it and something happening to them. The most at risk. So I don't know if it's some sort of negating their mortality by protesting however they want, or maybe lack of education in their cases, just so lack of education where you feel that you're missing something in your life and you try to make yourself feel superior by thinking that you're not like the other sheeple. I don't know what is it exactly. I don't know what is it. I'm just happy that everyone in my family is on the same page. God bless them. Oh, yikes. Oh, I'm so sorry, Gabby. Oh, Jesus. Just just set fire to the whole apartment block. Listen, I would say the same, but life has proven to me that it wants to keep alive the most evil of people. It's always the good people that just die young. The old, like the evil ones, they stay alive out of spite. It's like not even death wants them. Take care, Sarah. Have fun with your puppy. But yeah, no, it's like they're so evil that not even death wants them. So I don't think it's going to happen any natural selection with these assholes. I think good people are going to die because of it. Ah, yeah. Yeah, no comment. Hi, Jessica. Hello. Welcome. Thank you for joining the live. Yeah, I don't. I don't either. I don't either. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. My condolences. We have a politician in Romania. His name is Ion Iliescu, and he's the one of the biggest pillars of communism that's still left over. And people die like flies. This man keeps staying alive. We've got a meme that Iliescu will survive the heat death of the universe. Like, when we found out that your um that oh god, I just it's so disrespectful, but I have a hard time remembering her name. That Ruth Ginsburg died. Romanians were so quick to say she died and Iliescu is still alive, so there's no justice in the world. Just a general black humor Romanians have, I swear to God. Oh God, why? Like, do they think they're some kind of ninjas? I don't get it. I don't get it. I bet you had some people that were really pissy about that. Because I've seen some anti-mask videos from various parts in the USA, and they're just fucking wild, man. The way that I would lose my job decking these people, I swear. Like you all put up with so much. You're the heroes here, truly. Oh, oh Jesus. Oh my God, Emily. Oh God, yeah, I'm so bad. I feel so bad for laughing. I'm so sorry. Oh, yeah, no, it's just you guys are too polite. You guys are too polite. But then again, that's the thing in Romanian culture as well. You don't say things to your boss directly, you just bitch and moan indirectly about it. And it comes from a long period of being under the communist boot and after that under the nobility's boot, because for a long time 85% or so of Romanian was rural, and the nobility was, nobility thinking that peasants are animals. And yeah, it's just we're not used to confrontation either. But don't you guys have like um shorter school hours? I think they're just trying to keep you guys there as little as possible. Oh God, yeah, no, no, I'm just I would not put up with that shit. I would not put up with that shit. Hey, hello, good afternoon, or morning, or evening, or whatever it is where everyone's from. Listen, can I rant about something? Just really, really quick. We were colonized by so many people for so many centuries. There were the Romans with Trajan just deciding to hop on over the Danube, fuck us up. That led to us losing so much of our original Thracian Dacian heritage. So there's really not a lot left. And because there's so little left, a lot of people that want to hark back to those days are either fanatics that just invent stuff from the spot, or they try to make something out of nothing and falsely attribute stuff that's from other European countries to us because there's so little that we actually have. Then we got rid of the Romans, and guess what? The Turks came over us, and a lot of the a lot of Romanian culture as is partly imported a bit from Turkey. So a lot of our dishes, they're Turkish because it was like a good hundreds of years of oppression, and it's just, and a lot of Romanians think that we're this kind of promised people, but it's like we really are not. We're just another people that got colonized and effed over numerous times, and that is why we are behind in a lot of ways, politically, socially, because we did not have one moment of break. Have fun at the crawl. Take care. Take care. See you. Take care, Fefi. But yeah, we did not have one moment to take a breath and actually focus on our own stuff. And especially in the 18th, 19th century, for many years, our artists and singers, and not singers, I don't know about singing in those times, but our artists, writers, sculptors, They made very derivative works. And what I mean by derivative is that they borrowed a lot from other Western European writers, artists at the time. So it's just we did not have the time. That's why we don't have as many cultural, advances as other people. We did not have the time to do them. I think that Romania has started to come in its own only after the revolution in 89. I'm glad you guys enjoy my ranting. I just oh Jesus Christ. The trash takes itself out. Trash takes itself out, and you're better off without him. You really are. Like closeted racists are the worst because you treat them as you put friendship into them and love and care and affection, and they show themselves in the end to not see you as much of a valid human being as they see themselves or other people in their race. So it's even more hurtful. Like with a racist that's in your face, you at least know where you stand with that person. Racists that are like closeted are the height of hypocrisy. The height of hypocrisy. 100%. 100%. Uh, it's just you stay. It keeps you back so many years, and it models the way that a people approaches everything. Um, it's just thank you, Mariah. I really appreciate it. And I love your look in the profile picture, like the hair with the eyes. You look like the best kind of manic pixie dream girl. I love it. So Joyous asks what makeup is like in Romania. So as of late, as a couple of years back, we started getting a lot of imported brands. I actually have a video about this. I'm gonna try and find it and link it, but that's 2 years old, and things have changed since then. But a couple of years back, we wouldn't get as many brands as people in the USA or UK would get simply because they were imports. But we didn't have many local brands as well, or the local brands that existed, they weren't really viewed with a lot of trust. They were viewed with a lot of skepticism because it's very easy as a poor Eastern European country to see anything that's from the West as better than what you already have. But as we grew more because capitalism, we started getting imports from other countries. So now we have Sephora's, we have very well stocked Douglas's, we've got Feel Unique that has a lot of the more expensive Sephora brands. So I do feel that we don't yet have the variety that the US has, but we do have enough that I am comfortable trying out a lot of things. The problem is that it's as expensive as it is in the US, but we don't have USA salaries. Um, so it's just it has a higher point of entry than it would have for an American or a British person or a French person or a German person, so someone that has a very strong currency. Because ours isn't as strong as other countries. I hope that answered. I hope that answered your question. Let me just link that other video because I feel I was much more uh, eloquent in that. Let me see. Being a makeup lover, there it is. So it's old. Don't judge the footage. Don't judge the editing. It is what it is. I linked it there. We'll see about it because I'm not keen on exposing you to the internet yet, but maybe in a couple of years, yeah? Well, vorbim când ne vedem acasă. Oh God, no, yeah, I hate those people. Just hateful, Jesus Christ. I hate people that use others as woke brownie points or as a stepping stone for their own messages, and I also dislike people that try to be woke. So their spirit is like in the right place, but they speak over the people that they claim to be helping. It just comes from a bit of a white savior complex, or a white superiority complex that they might not be aware of. And I don't it's not even remotely it's not just for white people, right? Because I was looking at a documentary on Netflix. It's called Flavors of Romania, and there's this British guy, I think he's British, and he's traveling Romania, taking a look at our country, at our food, at our whatever. And it's just one episode so far, and I thought it was lovely, except that I did not like how the documentary focused so much on the poverty. So the poverty in the countryside, how our government neglects us, which, it's true, but I would not want the first impression that a foreigner has on our country to be, oh, they're so poor, they don't even have cars, they just have little villages of aging people and good food and people that ride horses. It's a bit of a Western complex there. So I couldn't like pinpoint exactly what he said that bothered me, and he seems to have good intentions, but I don't like it that he made it about how much help we need, because, oh, they're so beautiful, they need help, they need us to intervene. I can't really explain what bothered me about that, but there's something really bothersome about it. Spune lui mami să nu fie supărată pe tine, da, te rog. Papi, sim. Yeah, it's sometimes it's not even about being poor, right? It's about having a currency that is seen as poor buying power for things that are from other countries. That's the thing. Um, because it's just different economics, man, different economics. And retailers don't want to scale to the possibilities to buy from those countries, even though it would be really easy for them, because how expensive is it really to create a plastic packaging with fucking dust in it? Like, how expensive is it really? Because as far as I know, the creation expenses aren't that great, so they could scale back and make it more accessible, but they won't. I think it's imports. They probably charge an import fee, a very high import fee, and probably some other economic thing that I'm not aware of in Sweden. I know Angelica Nyquist and Paulina Spulung were saying the same thing, that it's really fucking expensive. Yeah, I think. Let me see. Flavors of Romania. Let me see. What does it say on Netflix? It doesn't say who it was made by Netflix, right? For Netflix. And there's this guy, Charlie Otley, who is the main star. He's a British producer. So yeah, now I get why there's that whole savior thing. Yeah, I'm really bothered by it, because we are doing really good for ourselves, or all things considered. Our cities are doing really good. And yes, we've got impoverished countries, and some of our traditions are dying, but you don't have to have the focus only on that and say that we desperately need help. I mean, yeah, maybe we need help, but we need help from ourselves internally, not from some British guy that decided that Romania is really poor and he needs to drag us out of the muck. He was mostly really respectful, but there was this undercurrent of it, and maybe I'm too sensitive to it, because it's a narrative that I keep seeing and that really bothers me. Aside from that, I think that if it was really well done. Look, I don't know, I'm just being a bit paranoid. I think they can, I think they can because um Swedes get paid really well. The Swedish krones are a really strong currency as far as I know from my sister-in-law. Oh yeah, no, the Australian dollar is a nightmare. I kind of get why because it kind of has to like traverse several continents and an ocean, but it's still absolutely insane. Fucking Netflix. They're like, "Oh, let's just show everyone the natural wonders of Europe." And they're like, "Only for Europeans." Bonk. But yeah, you guys had like what, 3, 4 rants in this live? I'm so sorry. I just have a lot of feelings. And I haven't felt in a while either. I just haven't really felt inspired to do so, and I don't really want to force myself. They're really affordable, yeah. No, they're really affordable. A pack of pads, it's like, and one. That's 2 euros. Same with the tampons. I think the very expensive, like bio natural ones, those are 35 lei in euro. Come on, those are 7 euros, but those are like the fancy kind. So they're really affordable, yeah. Especially in the cities, like at the countryside. I'm not 100% sure. It depends from village to village. Most villages have a country store, so they've got like a little store with some of the basics. I would assume that people up in the mountains maybe don't have as much access to it as others do. So it depends. But price point, they're really accessible. Yikes. Jesus. Yeah, I mean, 3,000 euros, like it's an expensive country to be in. We spent so much money when we went visiting my sister-in-law, and we could have spent even more, but we were lucky because she like fed us. We went visiting her place a couple of times during the week that we were there, and we ate lunch at her place, and she also gave us leftovers, so we saved a bit of money on restaurants. And I also didn't really like their food. It wasn't that great. So I was like, okay, you're making me pay 40, 30 euro per person on this food, and you're just fleecing me, but it's not that great either. Oh yeah, no, the whole Nordics, like they're crazy expensive. Just crazy expensive. I was actually speaking with my boyfriend about emigration, just the theory of it, because reasonably we're quite privileged in where we are at in our lives right now, job wise, home wise, everything wise. So for us, there is no real reason to emigrate, but we were speaking about emigration, as you know, as a theory, a fantasy. And he was saying that he would not emigrate to Sweden because he doesn't know the language and he doesn't want to learn it. And it's really stupid cold. But the salary for his job, a programmer, would be really, really good in Sweden. Otherwise, I think that easier for us would be to go to the UK because we both know English really well. My company is UK based. Um, if I was on my own, I could very well go back to Italy because I know Italian. But if I were with him, I don't think he would adapt. He's not that great at foreign languages, and I don't think he'd really get along with Italian. Emily says, "Don't come here, it's crap." The comments on this stupid thing are delayed again. Um, I feel that I have a bit of a romanticized view of England because I had a really good time when I went there to visit a friend, and because Britain is really the media really kisses ass up to England. It's just I know that living there would probably be very different than being a tourist there. I didn't live much in Romania. I spent my childhood in Romania, so from my birth up to 7 years old, up until my dad died, and then mom, who's Romanian, wanted to go back to Romania because that's where her family was, where her support system was, because she didn't get that close to my dad's family. And I lived in a little small town, a port town. I don't remember a lot from the time there, except that it was very hot summers. We would go to the seaside a lot. Every season, we would go to the seaside, and if it was too cold to go in the water, we would just take a walk. And it was a very picturesque little town, so you would have like cobbled streets. And my dad had a scooter, like one of those little Vespas, and he would take me alongside on a ride. It was really fun. The most interesting thing was that we had the what call it, the Stromboli, the Stromboli volcano. We could see it from the coastline, and sometimes it would just smoke up. And 5, 6-year-old me that already knew about Pompeii, I would get terrified because I remember dad, or I think dad had a whole library of history books, and because there was lack of space in the rest of the house, they moved it into my room, so I had a whole wall of these encyclopedias that I was super sad that I could not take with me. So I think that I started reading things that weren't quite age appropriate when I was really little, which led to the whole fact that I'm a huge fucking nerd. I think the only thing that I have from that time is a lion type of teddy bear, like a lion plush toy, and I carried it with me even when I moved with my boyfriend. Cause it's I got it from my dad when I was little. Don't remember exactly. I think it was Easter, and in Italy you've got this thing where you get some huge Easter eggs. So like ye big Easter eggs, and you would get presents in them. And he got me one of those big Easter eggs, and there was that toy. So I had a happy childhood while I had it there. It was really beautiful, really happy. And I went visiting, I feel, in 2009. But I wasn't very sociable, and I feel that I made a bad impression on my relatives because I felt awkward around them. So what I did was mostly play on their computer and read the books in their library instead of actually socializing. Where do you want to move? Um, where do you want to go? What country are you from, by the way? Hmm. Well, I think the easiest thing would be to get in contact with actual Canadian people and play 20 questions with them. I mean, I'm playing Captain Obvious, but yeah, I think that would be the easiest thing to do, to actually question what's happening there. Emily said she'd moved to Germany. Yeah, I feel Germany is really beautiful. A lot of Romanians actually go to Germany, Vienna for work. I actually took 4 years of German in high school, but the teacher just could not get the class past the basic of was ist das, das ist der, whatever. So I think I don't even know how to say my name properly in it anymore. Like 4 years down the drain, I should have just stuck with French. Oh God, yeah, I think it was better in previous years, and ever since Trump gained the presidency, either it's been going down the drain or people are more comfortable saying that there are certain problems. But I think that objectively speaking, every country has its issues. It depends on you and your preferences and your living situation, what you find acceptable or not. Because, for example, a lot of people emigrate from Romania for various reasons. But I wouldn't, because I have a level of privilege that others do not, and I'm very aware of it. And it's just I'm also very aware of how the level of privilege that I get is 80% good luck. Like there was some work involved, but it was 80% good luck getting the job that I did. And then continuing with said job in the IT field, which pays really well. But I have friends that have better education than me, better qualifications, and they get paid much less than I do. And they also have to like pay a mortgage, not a mortgage, like a oh God, like a credit for the house, like a monthly credit for the house and other stuff. So I realized that for them it would make sense to move to another place where they get paid better, where they don't have to necessarily pay that fee, and just get a house there or stay there renting. So it's all about who you are as a person and what you're dealing with in life. Yes, exactly, a bank loan. How do you pronounce your name? Is it Jenchi? Are you Polish? Or no, you said something about Croatia. Never mind. It's just every time I see like multiple consonants near each other, it reminds me of my Polish friends, Wojtek. He taught me how to pronounce a couple of things. So it's just whenever I see them, I automatically assume, oh, Poland. 100%. I mean, it's I think this localization thing is really important. Yes, exactly. I mean, for example, my boyfriend hit the birth lottery because he was born in a upper middle class sort of family, and then it was luck because he got into programming, luck that he actually liked it and is good at it, and then the rest was hard work because he became a really good programmer. But I sometimes have this argument with him, well, not an argument but a debate, where if he would have been born in any other family and would not have been able to go to college or go to his chosen college or get the equipment needed to be able to program effectively and learn new things, he would not have the privileged situation that he has now. Whereas I grew up in a more lower middle class family, so it's not like we went hungry or anything, but uh single mom with the help of my grandmother, so we weren't necessarily struggling, but it was not a we can buy anything you want kind of situation. um so for me it was less luck than him. And then it was more luck when I finished college and I actually got into the IT sector. So yeah, it's just it depends so much on when you're born, where you were born, who your parents are, what your living conditions are, where you're born, because it's a difference to be born in the capital, in the big city, and then there's another to be born in the mountains, in a village. Emily, don't you find that sometimes you get weirded out by things that he does, and sometimes he gets weirded out by things that you do? Because, for example, he was completely horrified when we first moved in together that I was drinking tap water. And I am horrified that he kept drinking bottled water and creating so much waste and wasting money on bottled water. I'm like, the tap water is fine. And he's like, you're going to get an ulcer. And I'm like, no, it's fine. It's fine. And another thing that he was really weirded out about was that I would eat things that expired like 1 or 2 days before, because it's like it's not like it turned rancid from one day to the next. If it smells okay, it smells okay, and he's just horrified at that. Oh, okay, got it. So zero in Italian. Okay, so zienci. Probably mangled that as one. Yeah, you did mention Croatia. Sorry, I've got like the memory of a goldfish. I did mention this earlier, but we considered emigrating to Sweden for just like as a fantasy, because I really liked the climate there. It's really cold in the winter, but I like that they had very mild summers. But he would never, because he doesn't like that weather, and he doesn't like the language. We also considered the UK because we both have quite a romanticized view of it, and we've got a lot of friends in the UK, and we both know the language. Italy would be another perspective, but I think that's mostly for me than for him, because he doesn't know Italian and he doesn't have any Italian roots and he doesn't have any kind of Italian temperament. I don't think he'd have the best time over there. Germany and Austria would be another good option, but as is, we have a very good place where we're at, and we don't really feel the need to. Same thing with the jars, but he humbled me. He humbled me a couple of days because we had multiple sauce jars in the free fridge, and I was like, "Move out of my way because I need to take out the jars and see which one is open." And he's like, "What, Miss Rustic upbringing doesn't know how to tell if the jar is opened just by looking at it?" And I'm like, "No, I don't." And he showed me that you can tell if the jar is opened by tapping on the stupid lid. So you can tap on the lid and it sounds different. And I kept calling him a little spoiled prince, and he one-upped me with jar technique. But at least I'm the one that opens the jar in the family, so. Oh, I know. I always have money anxiety as well. I have very um so I think the problem for me was that once I got my own money and I didn't feel restricted, I had a period of like money binging, so lots of spending. I got into debt at a certain point, and eventually I got rid of the debt because it wasn't that large and it was a wake up call. But I still didn't do a lot of savings because I was like, for once, I don't have to watch what I buy. But I had a moment where my grandmother, forgetful as she was, she had dementia. She forgot a candle in the kitchen and accidentally burned half of the kitchen. And I had to help with expenses, and it was at the end of my paycheck, and it left me penniless for 2 weeks. And that was because I did not have an emergency fund, even though I could have. I had the privilege that I could have had that emergency fund. Um, And it was a wake up call for me. And from that point onward, I started budgeting. I started setting up separate emergency funds, separate savings accounts. Uh, but yeah, it's a lot of anxiety. It's a lot of anxiety related to money. It's a lot of weird behaviors related to money. Like, for example, I abhor the idea of sharing an account because I'm afraid of giving away the financial independence that I so hard won. In my household with my guy, we have separate accounts, separate spending money, and we just take turns paying for the things that relate to the house. So like common expenses, stuff like that. And if we buy something like a piece of furniture or something, we split half and half. Or it depends. If it's a more expensive thing that he prefers, he'll pay more than I do simply because it's his preference. Why would we buy a jar? It's just that some sauces I like more store bought. So I buy them jarred and then I save the jar and I stash other things in it. Oh, take care, Tarima. Take care. I hope you have a good time like writing your assignment or whatever it is that you need to do. It's always a pleasure. Bye. Cause it's really useful. Like you can put rice in it, cereal, flour. You don't have to deal with the bag spilling all over. If you make sauce, I make blueberry sauce and I sometimes make tomato sauce. And you put them in. You put them in the jars. Otherwise, you would have to put them in the plastic or keep them in the thing in the whatchamacallit, in the pan, and that's not very useful if you want to use that pan for anything else. So they're supremely useful. And I also like to keep jars for organizing pens, bits and bobs. I have a money jar. So it's a jar where we put spare change that we find around the house. Oh, that's a really clever thing. That's a really clever thing that your mom did. I kind of moved on my own at 19 because I couldn't stand living with my grandmother anymore. And I called my mom because at the time she remarried when I was 13 and I didn't want to move in with them because I wasn't, I didn't, I, me and my stepdad did not get along. And now we get along. Basically, we ignore each other. We steer clear of bothersome topics. It's just a very frail equilibrium that happens. But when she wanted me to move in with them, I didn't. I preferred staying with my grandma. And at 19, I was kind of done with that. And I called her and I like, yeah, I am moving out. And she's like, I don't agree with that. I'm like, I wasn't asking for permission. I was just informing you. And then she was like, oh, okay, let me know if you need any help. And that's when she realized that she raised someone as stubborn as her. Um, yeah, my uni degree is in translations. So English, Italian translations to and from Romanian. But I could not find something in the field that would not lead me to starvation or boredom. Because what I wanted initially to do was either interpreting, but for interpreting, you need to know people that know people that know people for the good paying jobs. And if not that, I wanted to do literary translation. The problem with literary translation is that for romantic languages, they're not as well paid as more rare languages, such as Arabic, Nordics, Russian, things that honestly I didn't want to learn and I wouldn't have time to learn them properly and get into the field by the time that I realized that romantic languages pay pennies. So it's like, okay, what can I do with these language skills? The IT sector in Romania is really well developed. And you've got a lot of entry point jobs in help desk centers, so over the phone support or whatchamacallit, back office support, so just through email, that require English language and another foreign language. And for the foreign language, you would get a bonus to your salary. So it's like, okay, let's hire myself somewhere there. So that was a good decision in my part. The good luck was that I got hired for a company called Stefanini, which does a lot of outsourcing. And because they do a lot of outsourcing, so what does that mean? They provide the service of help desk support, and other companies pay for that support. Those companies don't have an internal type of support, yeah? And the company, so Stefanini, would get paid by ticket, by call, by, and it's their best interest to have their people very well trained so their resolutions don't get contested, so the company doesn't lose money. Because the client could always say, oh, your people don't do a good job and we need you to cut us a portion of the contract. So what they did was they hired these people that had absolutely no IT background, myself included, and they would train you for one month and a half. Basics of the basics. That was the good luck because I got to start in a company that trained me really well, and I realized that I had a knack for it. So that's basically how I moved away from the languages field. I moved away by using the language skill set and looking for places that also want it. I hope that that was clear enough and that I answered your question. I do the same because it's more aesthetic. I'm a very superficial person in that regard. I just like everything to be super aesthetic and to look like an old-timey witch's kitchen. Oh God, yeah, like oh man. Yeah, it's just the way that our parents handle money, and how they handle money as a couple or with a new partner just kind of molds our view of how we want to handle money as well. Like I trust my boyfriend implicitly. I know he would never do me dirty regarding money, but it's still a illogical anxiety that sometimes something someday might happen. So I prefer to keep my money separate. Oh, hi, Thorn. Hello, hello. I suggest everyone take a look at Thorn's Instagram. They have really they have a really interesting makeup style. It's just very interesting, very inspirational. Well, as autumn progresses, I actually wear darker colors. I go a bit darker on the eyes, I go a bit darker on the lips, goldens, khakis, oranges, reds, that type of color. That's actually a good idea. I kept skipping the seasonal makeup videos, but I think I'll create one and show some of my autumny. Or did I have one? Actually, give me a second. Because I think I had one that actually had swatches. Autumn. There it is. Mind you, this is from 2019, so I should do a 2021. But yeah, basically richer, more warmer colors as opposed to more vibrant tropical colors in the summer and more pastels in the spring. And in the winter, I go full on vamp. I love heavy eyes in the winter. I love ruby red lips, darker vampish lips with like just mascara. I just love it. I'm just pissy because I don't have much of an occasion to do it anymore except for filming on Instagram. Audra knows where it's at. Hello, Meg. Counseling as in psychological counseling or something that I'm not aware of? Because, yeah, and I know that from country to country that really varies. Oh, 100%. Yeah, I'm going to keep it through the winter. So my vanity budget, as I call it, this is a 2020 year-long project. So that will end on December 31st. Then what I plan to do, I want to have a bit of a break. So up until February 17th, when it's my birthday. So I'm going to have a 1 month and a half break, and then I'm going to start another year-long low buy project with a different focus. I'm thinking, so the thing is that in 2021, I want to focus on having less things, but I don't know how to title it without ripping off Hannah's Year of Left Stuff title. So I really have to think about what title I want to give it. Because this year was really focused on low buy, spend less money, get less things. And I really want to continue that and continue seeing how my habits change. Well, we literally have the same degrees. Yeah, and it's like a better opportunities, but it also really varies, right? Because it depends on who you know, where you get hired, if you've got some backing, if you've got a senior translator that is willing to put a foot on the door for you. It's just translating is such it's like such a romantic field until you realize that you're gonna get poor if you don't want to translate documents all of the time. That's amazing. That's amazing. Psychology is such an amazing field to be in. Like I wouldn't be the same without my psychologist. Thank God for therapy. Oh, well, it happens. Well, you're not gonna have to do that for long, at least. I mean, you're gonna stop wiping their butts and then deal with toddlerhood and teenagehood and adulthood. So just stick in there. That yeah, that's going. Actually, you know what? I have a list of videos to film. I'm gonna put that on a list for starting winter. It's just I've got this whole stupid list of shit that I want to film. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know. You can. Nah, it's not. Let me see. Boop. That is okay. So this is. I've got this whole fucking list of things that I want to film, and either I don't have time or I don't have inspiration these days, and it's super annoying. Well, yeah. Let me just add full winter vamp face. I'll add that to the list. Definitely, Hannah was very influential because she really was at the time she was a breath of fresh air, because a lot of the other YouTubers 2 3 years ago, they were very hyper consumeristic. There were a couple of other YouTubers. I feel Haley Evans was also doing a no buy year, but I feel that what Hannah did right was the introspection that her videos showed, and a lot of the honesty. I feel that it went two ways. So she inspired a lot of people that did low buys just for the sake of doing low buys, but they either didn't stick to their rules or did it just for the trend, and you could feel that. Or people that actually meant to do it as an introspective type from of project. Hello, Kartiki. Happy to have you here. What time is it in India? Isn't it super late? I feel like you guys are like what, 3 hours? 2 hours ahead of me? Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, big dreams, little paychecks. This is why I didn't even go into art as another thing, because it's just I wanted to go to art college initially, and my mom was like, finish a college that is more practical, and then if you want, I'll support you to get you through art college. And during, translations college, I did art as a freelancer, and I realized that it is not fun, for me at least, to do art for other people, because for me art is a way to express myself. It's not like I 100% I don't get very much satisfaction from the process itself. I get more satisfaction from the finished project. And if the finished project isn't something that comes from my heart and soul, then it's not as satisfying for me. Yeah, 1 a.m. Actually worked a lot with people from India and Sri Lanka, so I started learning a bit the time difference. Oh yeah, 100%. Like a lot of people have this whole follow your dreams type of bullshit, but following your dreams isn't enough. You can't just draw. You have to sell yourself, you have to market yourself, you have to set up a portfolio, you have to follow trends and see what pays well, what people want. You can't just paint whatever you want to paint and people will flock to you. It doesn't happen that way. It didn't happen that way in the Middle Ages. It didn't happen that way in the Renaissance. It didn't happen that way during the Baroque. It didn't happen that way ever. Artists that are revered now did a lot of commercial art. So all of those Bible, Greek mythology type of paintings, those are commissions. It's not like they drew the Bible and the Greek stuff because they wanted to. The church commissioned them, the nobility commissioned them. They were working per commission. It's the same nowadays. Sure, now if you get a big following, for example, Sakimi chan, she got a big following, you have a Patreon. But you still have to give those Patreons something. And most people do fan art because of it. Sakimi is very popular for her not safe for work fan art. Nothing wrong with that, but it's like she can't spend all of her time painting the things she wants because she has to paint that fan art that keeps her on the map. Likewise, a lot of other big artists, industry artists, they work on game development art or on commission art. So a lot of stuff that is someone else's vision, but you are their hands. And you have to make peace with that if you want to be an artist. And I just could not make peace with that for a long time. I just could not. Yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly. That whole performance aspect of it. I dreamed so much about going to art school. I feel that as an artist of any kind, you kind of start to internalize the art that you do as part of your identity. And when you don't do it to a certain degree or you don't follow an education for it, you end up feeling like less of yourself. And it took a while for me to separate the fact that I like to draw, I like to write, I like to do YouTube, I like to do all of those things. Those things don't necessarily make up my entire identity. And if I don't feel like doing them for a time, that doesn't make me less of myself. Yeah, I can relate with the niche. I can relate with the niche. What mediums do you like to work with? What type of art mediums? Oh, take care, Thorn. Thanks for coming. I really, really appreciate it. I also the comments are again just there it is. Yeah, writing is really fun. I just never finish anything. What do you write about? And what do you like to paint? Like what subjects? Look, vision. There is nothing better than a good just a pencil sketch. Sometimes I get pissy because I feel that most of the life of my work is in the pencil sketch, and then something gets lost on the way. So a lot of stuff I just leave in pencil. Yeah, it really is. It really is. Oh, thank you, Audra. Take care and happy birthday to your cousin. Take care. Bye. Listen, I've got this swirl. and these characters that I've had since I was 14. This story has changed so many times. So many times. They keep writing it, rewriting it, never finishing it, then it changes again, then it keeps finishing it. I'm hoping that by the time I turn 80, maybe I will finish this stupid story already. Applause for everyone, really. Like the visual artists, the kinetic moving artists, and everyone that's not an artist. And just applause for everyone. We're all doing our best in life. Oh no, I hate that attitude. Oh God, no. I would have decked your teacher. I mean, the firm, so there's two camps in art, right? So there's two camps of thought, like trains of thought. There's the people that say that talent is innate and not something that you can teach. And then there's the people that think that art is a skill like any other and you can teach that. And I'm in the second camp. I mean, the camp that thinks that sure, if you have talent, you may have a way ahead, but hard work trumps talent 9 out of 10. But you also have to be willing to put all of that hard work. Talent maybe gives you an edge. Um, it's just like when someone is a good runner naturally, sure, they will be faster than you because you've not run in your life. But if you train enough times and you sprint enough times, you will end up catching up to them and even surpassing them. Oh, I heard a really good tip about not being able to edit. It's just you make a separate document, and that really helped me. That and writing in Comic Sans. Just Comic Sans is so good for my art productivity, and I hate it. But yeah, you create a separate document, and instead of deleting the lines that you need to edit out, you copy paste them in that document, and you make a note of where they were. So they're never gone. You don't feel like you're removing them. You don't feel like you're deleting them. You just feel like they're getting shuffled in another place, and it's easier to edit like that. I recommend books by Andrew Loomis. They're free online and they're really good, Emily. And if you want something that is a bit more advanced, let me see if I can write this correctly. You can find Glenn Vilppu books. And if you want something even more advanced, whatchamacallit? George, yeah, George Brigman. So Andrew Loomis is really about the basics. Glenn is more about movement and form. George is a lot about form and the way things work together and mold against each other. I feel that his work is a bit more, I wouldn't say geometric, but more precise than the first two. Oh my God. I've never tried pottery. I wish I would one day. Yeah, it's just it's like a cake, you just need to let it bake. You need to let the stories stew a bit before putting them into paper. Um oh God, favorite book and author. They change so very, very often. So nonfiction, this year I really enjoyed Cy Montgomery's books. I think that's her name, Cy Montgomery. Yeah, Cy Montgomery's books I really liked. For fiction, um, I really like young adult fiction a lot. So I've been really enjoying the Daughter of Smoke and Bone series. That's a really good standout one for me. The first Outlander book, because I did not continue the series. It's just I read so much per year that I don't really have favorites so much. Let me just check my Goodreads for this year, and I can tell you. Exactly what I liked. Just give me a second. For painters, I don't really have favorites. I have actually no, that's a lie. I love Van Gogh. Van Gogh is my favorite. When I was able to see the his paintings live in Amsterdam, I cried. I legitimately cried like a baby. I was looking at his paintings and I was sobbing. And my boyfriend was looking at me like a crazy person because just couldn't get it. He couldn't get it. Um, I like a lot of other people, but I seldomly remember names. I'm really bad with names. Right now, I'm really enjoying the Amelia Peabody series. It's super fun. It's like if Sherlock Holmes was an Egyptologist and a badass lady. Let's see, what else did I read great this year? I'm actually planning to do during the Miamas, so my Vlogmas type of thing. I'm going to do a reading year in review because I think that would be a lot of fun and very on brand for me. Come on, my books. Read. Oh gosh, I'm gonna get old by the time this loads. Oh man, yeah. What are your favorites? Like my favorites are the paintings of the cypresses. The cypresses in the wind with the field near them, and of course Starry Night, but that's a classic. But that cypress painting just does things to me. Let's see. Lots of IT stuff. Okay. Guilty pleasure is Nora Roberts. I wasn't into romance at all previously, like at all. And then I got into it in quarantine and I read like 7 of her books back to back in a week and a half. They're such good comforting books because you know that whatever happens they're gonna be happy, they're gonna end up together, they're gonna get married, they're gonna have a baby. It's just very comforting in a time of such such strife. It was really fun reading those. I also liked the two mythos books by Stephen Fry. It was really fun because his tone really shows how ridiculous some of those myths are. I also read Practical Magic, Garden Spells. Those were nice, but I was a bit disappointed by them. Oh, two of my favorites that I read during quarantine as well. Um, An Enchantment of Ravens by Margaret Rogerson. That's really good. Really good. And A Sorcery of Thorns, still by Margaret Rogerson. I can't wait to see more stuff from her. Really enjoyable. Really enjoyable. Ilona Andrews again is a really nice, interesting series, and it's young adult. That's the Clean Sweep series. It's about an innkeeper, but she doesn't run a regular inn. She runs an inn that is basically a pit stop for all sorts of interdimensional and alien creatures, and it's really fun. Lots of nonfiction. Robin McKinley is again a really good one, a very comforting retelling of folk tales and fairy tales. It's just really nice. I really liked Chalice from her, Rose Daughter, Beauty, a retelling of the story of the Beauty and the Beast, but Chalice was the best. Another great one was Girls of Paper and Fire by Natasha, and her last name is spelled as Ngan. And it's a LGBTQYA romance fantasy, but it's not. The romance isn't the main part of it. The fantasy and just rising against oppression and your lot in life is the best part of it. Oh, and I've also liked A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness. But I liked book one the best. Book two was a bit of a slog, and book three kind of jumped the shark a lot. But yeah, that was it. Oh God, yeah, I just info dumped you. Let's see, Caspar David Friedrich. Let's see. Oh, I know this painting. The the Wanderer Above the Sea. That's my favorite. It's one of my favorites. I love it. I love it. And you know, they some guy created a photoshopped version of it, and you've got the wanderer. Instead of looking to the sea, he looks towards the like an urban landscape. And I thought that was such a great poignant representation of the loneliness that we all often feel in urban landscapes. Just amazing. Oh my God, Emily, if that's not love, I don't know what is. Just find yourself a man that replicates Starry Night on the wall in your house. Ooh, yeah, I don't know. Thanks for the warning. I don't think it's based on Macbeth. It didn't give me any Macbeth vibes. It gave me regular vampire romance with some alchemy factoids sprinkled in. Oh, Kandinsky and Clear classics, and Mucha just lovely. My ideal city would be either something that is very Art Nouveau or something that is a bit eco-brutalism. I think that was Kandinsky. Is he? No, no, no. That's colorful in another abstract way. Oh God, I actually saw that painting. Oh God. What? Piet Mondrian. That's the guy, Mondrian. I actually saw some of his work in the Swedish Art Museum, and it's really striking seen in its original size. It's just pictures don't do this type of art justice. You get to see the paint strokes and the texture of the canvas, and when it fills your whole field of view, or when it fills most of your field of view so you don't see it on a screen, it's much more impressive than it actually is in a picture. You know whose art I also like, but I don't like him as a person? Anish Kapoor. I saw an Anish Kapoor installation still in Sweden, and it was transcendental. It was like an egg type of thing, golden on the exterior, and in the interior you had a pitch black reflective surface that reflected you upside down, and it was so unnerving walking towards it, and this whole blackness feeling your field of vision and seeing yourself upside down and distorted like that. Like that's modern art that I can get behind. But he's so shitty. Like he's so shitty with his whole Vanta black, I won't let anyone have the blackest black in the world type of thing. You know, I think that it's more like a product of the times with problematic stuff like that, because it's just not everyone was born woke. And of course, we can get over some stuff because you can't excuse it. Oh, it's the times. You can get over some problematic stuff like that because of the times. But that doesn't mean we should get over everything that happened just because of the times. Yes, I'm so happy you like it. I'm so happy you like it. This palette is so underrated, but they didn't market it well. They shouldn't have ever marketed it as a neon palette. It's a pastel fairy palette. I'm so glad you like it. Oh, hi. Don't worry. Don't worry. A wizard is never late. He's always precisely on time when he wants to be. You know, you guys were right. I don't know who told me last time that they liked more the chatty streams than the topic streams. But yeah, the chatty streams are so much more fun because it doesn't feel like I'm interrogating you guys. I hope you have an easy night shift. I fucking hated night shifts when I used to work them. Dear God, they would just f up my sleeping schedule for forever. Same with the 5:30 a.m. ones. The only pleasant thing about those shifts were that I finished super early and that I shopped my stash for like my 5 a.m. makeup bag. But other than that, tragic. Susan Elizabeth Phillips. Oh, I'll check her out. I feel that with a lot of romances, you have to suspend a bit, like your critical mode in the brain. You have to suspend. You just have to suspend a lot. And for young adult supernatural fantasy as well, like the power dynamics. Oh, Jesus Christ! And I feel that at least for me, I would enjoy them more if I weren't into bad boys, but I'm so boring romance wise that even in video games, I romance the vanilla boys. I'm like, oh, this video character looks like he could be a good husband. I'm gonna marry him. Like every time I romance the most vanilla ass characters because that's what I'm attracted in real life as well. Like I see anyone that's like slightly fuckboyish, slightly bad boyish, slightly flaky, or is a Scorpio, because Scorpio men are the devil, and it's just I avoid the shit out of them. I'll write that down. I'll put them on that on my to read list. Actually, no. I read it because someone on Instagram recommended it to me before I watched Hannah's video. So by the time Hannah had her video out, I actually had read like two of the books. I don't know. I didn't have that experience. I have not read much romance at all. So it's just I've had good experience until now. You know what I had that experience with the main character being so insufferable? Uh, Netflix's Warrior Nun series. I love the story, I love the premise, I love the plot, but dear God, the main character was so selfish. And I get why she was selfish. I get it. Oh, take care, Emily. I hope your eyes get better soon. Have a good night. Bye. But yeah, it's just back to Warrior Nun. I get why she was selfish because she had been disabled for many years and that was her only chance at life. But coupled with other characteristics that I especially dislike in people, made her for me a very unlikable character. I just could not. What do you think of Cancer sign man? Conflicted Capricorn. Capricorns are the superior sign. My guy is a Capricorn. Cancer man, I find her a bit volatile, a bit emotional, but if you know how to ride the wave of emotions and what to say, you're good. It's just that Cancer men and Cancer women are very in tune with their feelings, and you kind of have to smell how they handle those and deal accordingly. I feel that the romance, in the sense that they get romanticized a lot, uh, because they were from a different time, right? Is just, for example, Jane Eyre. When you look at Mr. Rochester as a romantic interest, like the guy kept his former wife locked in an attic. What's romantic about that? I would be running. There's like a book called The White Sargasso Sea. I haven't yet read it because I will probably bawl my eyes out at it. But it's the story of Mr. Rochester's wife from when before they married up to the marriage and what happened after from her point of view. And I heard it's incredibly heart wrenching and sad. My best friend is a Cancer. So actually two of my good friends are Cancers, and I know how you guys move. It's just I don't think astrology is an exact science, but it's like it's fun space woo woo, you know? Yes, I know exactly. And I'm like, if I have to read that, I have to be in a certain mindset. I have to be prepared for the emotional suffering of it. And I don't think I'm ready for it yet. Yeah, beating them with a stick is such a good descriptor for unlikable main characters. Like that's how I felt about Bella in Twilight. Let's just forget that Twilight is super problematic for 100 other different reasons, right? Because now we're going through a Twilight Renaissance where we like Twilight, but ironically, and it's just she was so flaky, so wishy-washy. She let them both on. My guy Jacob deserved better. Never mind that he was a stupid 16-year-old that didn't quite have a good concept of consent, whatever. But everyone in that book deserved better. Bella needed to get a fucking grip. Hi, welcome, welcome. Go get it, go get it. If you want to cry tears, just go get it, I guess. But be prepared. I get why. It's just a lot of things in life are based on belief, and the more you identify with a thing, the more you take actions to reaffirm your identity. So if you identify yourself as an artist, you will do artisty things because a huge part about identity is optics. And self reaffirming. If you identify as a writer, you will keep writing. If you identify as a whatever, you will do things to keep that identity. So if you make being an Aquarius, what I am, or a Capricorn or a Cancer, a big part of your identity, then you start having behaviors to conflict that identity. Which character do you romance in Twilight? Canonically, Bella ends up with Edward. I was Team Jacob always because Jacob was more of my type. He was more wholesome. But I would want a book about that Native American pack. I'm avoiding saying the name because I'll probably mangle it. The Quilete pack, but like done respectfully to the tribe and their folklore, and not just used to have like an exotic element to it. I'm really bothered that Stephanie Meyer. So there is a recent project that the tribe is undertaking to move one of their schools from near the coastline more into the mainland, because if the water level rises up some more, it will damage the building. And it really, she's not obligated to do it, right? But you made so much money on their name, it would be nice for you to at least tweet about it or do a fundraiser or use some of your power to help the tribe that you used in your books. I'm just saying. Oh my god, if you did not watch Kenny JD's series with Bad Movies and a Beat, do it now. She's hilarious. I love her. I've been watching her ever since she mostly talked about K beauty. I stan Kenny JD. She made me watch um the 365 DNI because I wanted to see how bad it actually was. And it wasn't even that kinky. It wasn't even that bad. Just made me uncomfortable. It made me want to get a rape whistle. It's just so bad. Hello, fellow Aquarian. Yeah, it's a spiritual belief. It's a cultural heritage. It's worthy of respect, just like any other thing that got passed down to us from our ancestors. Hey, Floralisa, hi. Welcome, 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 welcome. I love your makeup in your profile pic. So sultry. Love your eyeshadow. Just pouring myself another drink. I need my caffeine. I actually read somewhere about someone that got type something something diabetes because they drank too much too many drinks with artificial sweetener. And I drink so much Coke Zero per day. I really should fucking quit it. I don't think it's healthy necessarily, just tastes good. Have you heard that the take that Bella is autistic? Oh, that actually would be an excellent take. But I don't think that's what Stephanie Meyer actually intended. But that would actually make the book so much more enjoyable because I would have an explanation as to why Bella acts that way. Um it's just I would get it why she acts that way. Because I'm also like a bit antisocial, asocial, and so forth. I got that, I related to that about her, but I didn't relate about anything else. So having an explanation would kind of make more sense and make her a more sympathetic character. Oh, 100%, 100%. Cultural heritage, language, iconography, yes, they do have enormous power. um be it directly or through the collective unconscious. I also feel the same way. I wouldn't necessarily call myself a witch because I'm not practicing, but I'm very spiritual and in tune with that side of things. I don't know if I'm not practicing because I'm too much of a pussy and I know the dangers of improper practice. Um, it's just that a lot of things can go wrong, and I've seen some things go really wrong for some people, so I kind of avoid practicing for now. Yeah, 100%. And let me not even get into the fact that she literally sexualized these 16, 17-year-old tribal boys. Like, it's just gross to me because there's a lot of sexualization of indigenous and tribal people, and it's children. They're children. Stop that. um a lot of the stories come from the countryside with people here messing with the supernatural when they shouldn't have. I don't even remember most of them because they were told to me as a child. So people going out after yele in the dark, or people doing certain things that attracted spirits in their house, and just not cleansing right and not doing things right. And then I really was into like the supernatural, where when I was 16, 17, and a lot of people would just do rituals, would just do summonings because it sounded cool, and then their life would get fucked up or they would end up tired for weeks. And I'm like, why would you invite someone in your house that you do not know? You do not invite strangers in your house. Like, even on the flip side, that maybe it doesn't exist, okay? Just um maybe they don't exist. But would you even risk it? I would not risk it. I do not invite strangers in my house and they're like flesh people. I would not invite strange spirits in my house either, just because summoning sounded cool. Any take words on the death of Ruth Bader Ginsburg? I'm going to be completely honest. I did not know who she was until today, until I found out about her death. And I did not know what she did and the really great things that she did for America until today. I do not have a coherent, concrete take on her death, aside that it's a great loss and she sounded like a wonderful woman. I feel giving my opinion on more than that would be disrespectful to her memory because I honestly did not know a lot about her until now. But she sounded like a real wall of stability and protection for a lot of women's right in America, and she will be missed. I think she will be sorely missed. May her memory be a blessing, and may her memory be a revolution. Yeah, it's just I don't think a lot of people outside of the USA knew how influential she was, unless they really looked at your politics closely. But she sounded like a monolith. She sounded amazing. Did you hear the bardcore rendition of WAP? Because it sounds like dragon slaying music. It does not sound like sexy music. Oh, thank you, Poliana. If you want to like the video, please do so because the engagement helps me. If you don't, that's perfectly fine. I'm just happy you guys are here. Yeah, it's I feel that the American social media is most vocal about people that do you guys wrong. So I know about Kavanaugh, I know about Romney, I know about Trump, but I don't think I know as much aside from Alexandra Oscaria Cortez. I don't think I know as much about the people that actually do some good in the USA, and that's kind of sad because people that do good should be praised more often. Oh, let me find the Bardcore version of WAP. Give me a second. Oh god, you guys need to hear it. Bardcore. And I also found a medieval rendition of the Naruto theme song, and it was amazing. WAP. Medieval Naruto. Here you go. God, the neoliberal white feminist boomer, like this whole syntagm is just so funny to me. I'm so sorry. Notorious RBG. Oh yeah, that's so amazing. So amazing. You know, a thing that bothered me in Romanian discourse today was that I saw a lot of people mention her death as if they knew about her. And I felt that was very disrespectful because they do not know who the people in our country are that pull the political strings, and they do not post about political stuff, but suddenly they post about her death. And it looked to me like they were using her death as woke brownie points to show how progressive they are because they're sad this person died. I just unpopular. Maybe that's very cynical of me. Yeah, it's everyone has an opinion. I try to avoid having strong opinions on things that I do not have direct contact with, or on things that I am not 100% familiar with, because like for me, having a strong opinion or writing a paragraph about her death would feel disrespectful to her because I did not know her. I did not know her work until today. If I died tomorrow, I would not want a random person on Facebook that found out about my death talking about me and what I did in my life as if they knew what I did, you know? I hope I'm making sense. Oh yeah, most surely, yeah. It's I heard that there's going to be a lot of issues. Oh yeah, I read like a really beautiful sentiment from Twitter that and it might be inaccurate. I'm not Jewish, so I don't know. That people that pass during Rosh Hashanah, they are considered tzaddik. I'm maybe pronouncing this wrong. Sorry. They're considered tzaddiks, which are people of great spiritual importance. So I feel that For many Jewish people, her passing hit doubly strong. Jesus. Um, Behave or you're getting blocked. Do you listen to Hildegard von Blingen? Her music is great. Oh, I'll definitely check her out. I'll add her to my to watch list. How would you want to be remembered if you died? I hope I die like at 17 my sleep or something to have a more time to do good things. I'm not particularly ambitious, so it's not like I want everyone to remember me as, this hero or whatever. I would want to be remembered as a good person that did her best by her friends and by society. Someone kind and morally correct. I think I just want to be remembered as a good person. But the problem is that our identities change from person to person that perceives us. I am not the same person to my boyfriend as I am to my mom, as I am to my best friend, as I am to my other friends. Everyone gets to know a different facet of yourself. And it's just that I would not want a stranger to talk about me as if they ever saw any facet of me. Because it's like if they only know me, I don't know, from Facebook or from the media or whatever, they just know that tiny portion that I let to be on social media or on Facebook. And I mean that strangers, not necessarily Facebook friends or YouTube friends that I do talk with more, um, or that didn't watch my videos or that didn't talk to me in any way. I hope I'm making sense. Oh, take care. Have a great sleep. Yeah, take care. Oh man, don't even get me started. The fucking idiots on fucking Instagram and Twitter making stupid makeup looks inspired by Kobe Bryant. Have some respect for the dead. Do not use the dead as a means to cloud chase for stupid Instagram engagement. Thank you, Momo Kitty. No, yeah, no, they did that when Chester Bennington died. They did that when Alan Rickman died. They did that when Kobe Bryant died. They did that during the Australian fires. They did that with ICE when we found out children were being held in cages. And I am this close to probably seeing someone do a look inspired by the fact that ICE is forceful, it's by force castrating detainees and putting hysterectomies on them. It's just you do not use people's deaths, human rights abuse, and natural tragedies as makeup looks. They even created Black Lives Matters once, and they were white, and they did fucking blackface. And it's just you all know that you're not. No, it's not. That's not the way to do it, right? And it's just most of them did not even talk about the movement underneath their posts. So if you want to create a post that raises engagement for a movement, there are so many ways to do it without painting your face black. And so they painted yes, I saw one white woman painted her face black, uh put like a handprint on her face and then wrote all over the handprint, "I cannot breathe." And it's just so disrespectful to use someone's death as a way to get clout under those tags. Just do not. No, it's just Twitter is a fucking mess. Twitter is a fucking mess, and I feel that there's also a lot of cloud chasing by outrage. So people do things that they know will outrage other people because that gets them a lot of visibility. A lot of those looks were on Instagram, and then people reposted them on Twitter. Okay, so I just had to hide some guy from Facebook that was annoying me, whatever. Yes, 100%. Like there are way better ways to do it, and try to be at least a little bit respectful. Like one of the reasons that I only retweeted things about Black Lives Matters, and just retweeted petitions, retweeted what other people were saying, was that Black Lives Matter is a thing that concerns us all. But I am a white person living in a white country. I am not in US, and aside from speaking to my black friends about it, I have no knowledge of no first-hand knowledge of what actually is happening. So my voice as someone that looks at it from the outside in is not as important as the voice of someone that actually is informed about it and knows about it and lives it. So what I thought was best at the time was make a statement saying that I support it, and then retweet people that were actually living in the USA and experiencing the things that the movement was about. And at a certain point, a friend of mine that always plays devil's advocate, she's like, well, why are you letting yourself be silenced by that? And I'm like, it's not letting myself be silenced, it's admitting to myself that other people have more knowledge about me than others. It would be like me trying to talk over my boyfriend about programming when he's a programmer and I'm not. It's like it's that simple. It's about experience and about life experience. I don't have that experience. I don't need to have an opinion about it. Actually, no, that's wrong. I don't have that experience. My opinion doesn't need to be heard as loud as the opinion of people that actually live it. You do need to have an opinion on it because it's about human rights. You just need to realize that when to talk about it and when to let other people do the talking, when their message is more valuable than whatever you could say about it. Exactly. And I feel that's the most important. It does nothing if you just retweet stuff, but you do not do any type of work in your offline life. If you don't offer support to the people of color next to you, if you don't help them when they need to be helped, if you're not friends with them, if you don't if you don't do the offline work that is actually the most meaningful, because everyone can be loud on social media, but actually, for example, helping protesters or helping the movement offline is much more important. Social media activism is 90% slacktivism. It just makes you feel better about what you're doing, but it doesn't actually change anything at all. Yes, 100%, 100%. It does give a false sense of achievement. It does give a false sense of achievement. Oh hi. If you miss them and you want to watch them, go watch them. Nothing weird about it. If you don't feel like watching them, just don't. This is it's that simple. Do you want to watch them? Go watch them. If you don't. Row Paint, I love her. I simp for Row Paint. I love her. I love her. Oh, I'm so happy you're here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Julia. Thank you for being here and thank you for your kind words. And I hope you have a wonderful evening, morning, or whatever time of day it is where you're from. Take care. Yes, exactly. Like it's not silence. It's letting educated people speak about the topic. But it's just a lot of Romanians are very contrarian about it because we are used to activate in an environment where it's just other white people. I don't think a lot of Romanians are as aware of racial differences in that USA type of context, we have issues with racism, but it's racism towards the Roma people. And it's got a bit of a different dynamic than what is happening in the US. So the so I feel that they speak from what they know, but what we know by living in Romania is not exactly what the experience that an American has. And there's also the thing that we get our information from media narratives that are more or less biased. They're either biased towards the left or towards the right. No media is 100% equalitarian towards both viewpoints. So we don't live it firsthand. We get uh, oh god, I have a brain fart. We don't live it firsthand. We also get biased media. Americans say one thing, left wing Americans say one thing, left wing Americans say another thing. We get secondhand information. You can't have good opinions, good valid opinions on secondhand information. That's like me saying that I know programming just because I listen in on the meetings that my programmer boyfriend has at home. I don't. Oh, that is just, I'm so flattered. Thank you so much. I also watch YouTube on double speed. I watch it on 1.5 or 1.25, depends on how fast the person speaks. Live streams, I usually don't participate in them because they are at literally 3 or 4 a.m. my time due to the time differences. And when I do, I also do other things at the same time, like I paint or I draw at the same time, because I also can't focus on one thing at the same time. I can really relate to that. Listen, we appreciate you watching, and I don't think anyone is going to think you're weird for binge watching our videos or for interacting with us. That is why we're here. If people did not want to interact with you guys at all, we would lock comments. We are not throwing our content into the void. We want that link with you guys. And I feel that parasocial friendships and the fear of parasocial friendships happens when someone gets a little bit too in your personal space and demands a little bit more from you than you would be comfortable with. So unless you're literally like asking them super personal questions and invading their space, you are perfectly fine. That's why we post. That's why we post in the end. I hope I'm making any sense. 100%, 100%. And I agree with the parasocialism is the future. I think it depends on how big you are, because I think you get to a certain point, a certain uh, largeness in community where you can't as easily make friendships. And so it starts being one sided. But I feel that at my level of platform, where I'm like under 3K, I can easily keep up with all of the people that comment and just continue talking to them also in other platforms. And it's very welcome because, I love it. I love making friends online. Um, Also because I have the time to reply to everyone and I remember everyone. Like if you repeatedly comment on my videos, I remember who you are and I try to remember details about you and what you told me in one of the comments. If I were at 100K, 200K, I don't think that would be possible because the human brain can only handle so many connections with other people. I think it's also a matter of practice. And how the person conducts their lives. I've participated in lives where I felt that the person hosting it wasn't even reading my comments, and it made me feel really awkward because it felt like I was talking to the void. But other creators, it's so much fun because they actually respond to what I say. So the shyness goes away a bit because I don't feel like I'm bothering them with my comments anymore. Does that make sense? Yes, exactly. I'm of the same thing. Like, I love connecting with other YouTubers and people that approach me from YouTube that watch me. But you also have to have a degree of socialization where you kind of realize when to draw the line. It's just that it's hard to know when to draw the line, just like in real life, because people are different and they expect different things out of a relationship, and it's just relationships are fucking hard, man. Like with other people as well. I just feel that I spent most of my life trying to hack how people interact with each other, and I still don't get it. And I have such a hard time, even in real life. I have a hard time connecting to most people and approaching them first. And it's just I sometimes feel a bit dragged down by it because I see so many people have such an easy time communicating and talking with their friends and making friends so easily, and just so easily and carelessly sharing parts about their lives. And with me, it's always like I'm pulling teeth. I'm sorry, it's whining o'clock. I think we should like wrap it up in 15 or so because it is getting quite late. I'm good at faking it nowadays because of my work. I was forced to talk to a lot of people in my early years because I was providing support over the phone, right? So I was forced to learn how to keep a conversation going, to make small talk, to navigate awkward silences. I really do thank a lot of my social skills to my work. It was either learn that or have a harder time at work. Truly, she does. She does. Yeah, it is really fun. It is really fun also because it exposes you to people that have a different viewpoint, a different life than you. Because the thing with real life is that you do tend to have a bubble, right? Your friends, friends of friends, acquaintances of friends, and birds of a feather flock together, right? But the internet exposes you to so many different people with different lives, and it's amazing. And yes, you're right. It is a bit of a scene. Like I keep seeing a lot of the same people in the lives that I happen to go into, and I don't mean mine. I mean other people's as well when I do catch them. And it's super fun because you participate in enough lives, and then you start befriending the people that comment in the lives. So it's you befriend the creator, you befriend the people. It's really fun. It's really fun. I love it. I particularly love it. For example, Thorn from earlier. I know her from Audra's Emily. Audra at home, Emily Hanhan, and I feel Abby's lives. So I saw them around. I think I misgendered them earlier. God, I'm so sorry. Um, but yeah, I saw them in in other lives, and then I decided to check out their Twitter and their Instagram, and I was like, wow, they're so cool. They are really, really cool. It's just that I have to be mindful of using the correct pronouns. Yes, they. Yeah, I accidentally misgendered them. I feel like shit now. Yes, exactly. It's like a breadcrumb of awesome creators and awesome people. Oh my God, yeah. Yeah, guys, Skype groups and ICQ chat rooms, and I didn't catch it, but Metin chat rooms and Yahoo chat rooms were a big thing. I slip up because I ta- they are uh, no, I sleep up because it's my fault and I should remember. I'm not gonna make any excuses about why I slip up. I should yeah, it happens. But thank you. What are your preferred pronouns since you're genderqueer? Are they still they them, or do you go by others? Yeah, exactly. I think that was her thing as well. Yeah. I know she is good friends with Teresa is dead, and I feel that's how she started the channel. Okay, that's good. Okay, this life was so much fun. Like so much fun, and I'm so thankful to all of you guys that joined, because me talking to myself would not be as much fun, would it? And you guys drive most of the conversation and most of the conversation flow. Yeah, it is, but it took me so much time to understand what Leguta is. So much time. I I felt like such an idiot for the longest for not knowing what it was. I was a bit envious of Emily for quite a long time because she makes friends so easily. So easily I felt in the community, and I was like, "Oh God, teach me. Teach me your ways, Emily." I want her to either teach me how to be such a social butterfly or cooking, because her cooking stuff is literally chef's kiss. All Minecraft. What I don't that sounds like a good time. Honestly, I've played so much Minecraft with an ex of mine. Like we had so much fun, but I've not played it a lot. With the same guy, I still play a lot of Warframe because we stayed friends after the relationship. Oh, guys, I think I'm gonna call it a night, and I'm probably going to do another live in like 2 weeks or so, because I don't want to do them necessarily too often. Um, because I also want to like have real life interaction in the weekend. I'm so happy you guys are here. I'm so happy. Thank you guys so much for joining the live. Oh, hi Sally. Absolutely no worries. I love you even if you catch only the end tail of the live. You're fine. If you guys haven't checked out Sally's channel yet, I do recommend it. She does a lot of amazing makeup content and lifestyle and beauty, and she does a lot of duping new makeup releases. So if you're into that, check out her channel. Check out her channel. um yeah, I know, I'm so courageous, so bold. I'm so happy you're feeling better, Amanda. Thank you for joining. And thank you as well, Poliana. Thank you. I'll enjoy probably a nap. Actually, no, not a nap. I'll probably play something and then go to sleep because it's 11:40 here, 11:40 at night. Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful whatever it is where you're from. Bye.